The Phanar is an historic quarter on the southern shore of the Golden Horn in Istanbul, rising steeply up towards Fatih. Its name comes from the Greek Phanarion, meaning lantern, a reminder of the Byzantine column topping the guiding light that once stood there. After the fall of Constantinople in 1453, Phanar became the centre of the city's Greek community, and it remains the seat of the Ecumenical Patriarchate of Constantinople. The Patriarchal Church of St. George, enclosed within its walled compound, has stood here since the early 17th century and serves as the symbolic heart of global orthodoxy. Under the Ottomans, this area produced the Phanarotes, the Greek elites who served as translators, diplomats, provincial rulers, and the neighbourhood still carries the marks of that history. Elegant mansions along the Golden Horn, the distinctive red brick Phanar Greek Orthodox Church, the Church of St. Mary of the Mongols, uniquely never converted into a mosque. Today, Phanar is easily reached by the T5 tram and the Golden Horn ferries, and every Epiphany the Patriarch presides over the blessing of the waters as swimmers dive into the inlet to retrieve the cross he casts into the sea. Today, as I was walking around the area, I got stopped by somebody who thought I was a much more famous mathematics professor. It happens every so often in Istanbul, and I'm always surprised by it.
This man is one of many people who keeps mistaking me for a professor, a mathematics professor.
His name is he's really famous mathematics professor in Turkey. His name is
Ali Bey.
Ali Nesin. Yeah,
Ali Nesin.
Her surname is famous from his father's actually.
Right.
Yeah, his father was writers, especially theater writers.
Really?
And yeah.
So I also do theatre.
Yeah. Aziz Nesin. He has a really comedy movie. Or
Really?
yeah, scenario. What do you call? I don't know what you call scenario. But
script.
he's really famous.
But now
and then
his
he's
son
really
is
famous, and he was atheist. He's not really not secular. I mean, he's not religious, and that's why.
Very religious.
Yeah, we are religious. He was atheist.
Right.
He was really famous.
And this
in
is your
Turkey.
shop?
This is my shop, my place. Yeah.
It is lovely.
Yeah, we have handicraft. We have all handmade shop, art gallery. We are not gift shop.
Right. And what is your name?
My name is Ceyhun. Ceyhun, yes. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir.
It's nice to meet you.
Okay, thank you very much.
The search for unity between the Catholic and the Orthodox churches is not a romantic gesture, but a profound theological duty. These are the two largest heirs to the first millennium of Christian life, sharing apostolic succession, sacramental structure, and the creeds of the early councils. Their division, formalized in 1054, but rooted in centuries of political and cultural estrangement, remains the most visible wound in global Christianity. Reconciliation is not cosmetic, it concerns the integrity of Christian witness, the credibility of its moral voice, and the restoration of a universal communion fractured at the very moment it was needed most. At the centre of the contemporary effort stands Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew. His importance cannot be overstated. Bartholomew has combined a theological seriousness with a diplomatic dexterity rare in modern ecclesiastical life. He speaks both the language of tradition and the language of the modern world. His stewardship of the Orthodox diaspora, his engagement with Rome, and his cautious but unmistakable support for closer communion all give him a stature no other Orthodox primate possesses. For many Catholics, Bartholomew represents the living link to the early conciliar age, a primacy of honour that doesn't crush the autonomy of the local churches, but also does not shrink from a universal responsibility.
Hello, so I came to the Patriarchal Church, to the Greek church, to go in, and it's closed in preparation for the Pope's visit at the end of, in about 10
The relationship between Bartholomew and Pope Leo XIV has already taken on a strategic significance. Leo is both instinctively traditional and pastorally pragmatic. He understands that unity is achieved not by theatrical gestures, but by careful theological alignment, and it is in this context that rumours of a bold step, the possible exclusion of the Filioque from the Latin Creed, have caused such interest. If Leo were to authorise the Latin Church to recite the original Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed without the Filioque clause, it would not be a repudiation of Western theology, it would instead be an act of historical and ecclesial discipline. The Filioque became the lightning rod, not only because of its doctrinal implications, but because of the unilateral manner in which it was added to the Creed. Removing it would not deny the Western understanding of the Spirit's procession, but that can still be articulated in other authoritative forms. What it would do is recognize the legitimate Eastern concern that a universal creed must be the product of universal consent.
This is the Bulgarian Orthodox Church. It's rather charming, and with the Patriarchal Church being closed in preparation for the Pope's visit, this is really the only church which is functioning at the moment. But it is rather, it is lovely, isn't it? Like a Christmas cake. In fact, this church is remarkable because it's all metal. Look! If you can come close enough, you can see here the screws, and it actually sounds like metal. It's extraordinary. So they would have brought this here and just constructed it. And the Bosphorus stuff, the Golden Horn, comes up here, and this train just here, which you can see, is on a sort of bridge passing over the top. So the bridge is relatively new, and the sea would have come much closer. It's very charming. It's great confection.
The idea of removing the filioque, I think, is very interesting because it would neutralize one of the most emotive symbols of division. The Orthodox churches have long argued that a shared creed must be truly shared, not adapted, not expanded, not negotiated through medieval politics. Leo's rumoured willingness to return to the creed in its earliest form would be read in the East as an act of humility and as a signal that Rome seeks unity on the basis of common inheritance, not judicial or juridical dominance. For Bartholomew, this would validate decades of ecumenical labour. For the wider Orthodox world, it could begin to shift the atmosphere, the perception that Rome is willing to meet the East on the terrain of the first millennium, rather than insist upon the theological architecture of the second. And for global Christianity, it would signal that unity is neither a utopia nor a surrender. It is a disciplined realignment with the shared treasures of the early church. If unity comes, and it will come by increments rather than earthquakes, it will be because figures like Bartholomew and Leo understand that Christianity cannot afford its historic fracture in an era marked by cultural dislocation, political volatility, and moral confusion. Their dialogue is not ornamental. It carries the quiet gravity of history turning, perhaps back towards itself.
Here we've got a public fountain. This would be the place where coffins would be laid in a funeral. And this is the tomb of someone called Hussein Sadiq. Hussein the Holy, I suppose.
Or is that the righteous? I'm not so sure. But just to complete our survey of all the major religions, come with me down this street.
If you look up here, this is the synagogue.
This records one of the most important settlements of the Jewish community in the 17th century in Istanbul and in this particular area in Balat. Such an exciting place.